Yes, hello. Welcome back to the Pop-Up with Paul and Friends. You're here yet again, guys. Thanks for subscribing, listening, following. Whatever you're doing to get here, we're doing podcasts all the time out of here. And I actually just took a little break. I've been off for a few weeks. I was traveling, doing some things. This is the first break in the pod since this season started. But I'm proud to say we're many episodes in. If you're just coming for the first time, go back. We have so many great guests on the show. I love the conversations I'm having in here. For someone who's been interviewing somebody for so long, for people so long, on TV and for digital brands and all these different places. This is my sacred little conversation space, And I know everybody says this. I got a podcast. Here's my space. We're going to have chats. I truly do feel like we have a very magical, special set and special conversations out of here because they're real. They're fun. And I was thinking about doing this for a while, coming back to putting podcast episodes back out with the way the world is. I thought, I want to re-air an episode we did. We did this episode a few months ago. Here's why I'm re-airing it. I always wanted to do this interview. This was kind of before things got escalated in the Middle East. I had a Muslim friend and a Jewish friend on the podcast, two hilarious comedians, and they had a great conversation. And the one thing I think I want to put out in the world right now from this podcast is the humanity of these two parties and the way they conversated with me and the comedy and the fun and the way they found differences and then similarities. And anyway, I re-listened to it when all this started happening, and I thought this would be cool to remind people to listen to this. I love these two people, and I love the conversation we had, and it's kind of more relevant than ever. And it's honestly, for people doing content and comedians, it's kind of a crazy time putting stuff out right now. I don't know what to put out. I'm doing, trivial bits about being a dad that I'm but this is crazy what's happening. And I guess that's the plight of everybody. Now I'm making it feel like boo-hoo creators when that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that if I have this job, if I'm a comedian and interviewer, and there's ways I could use what I do to be supportive of people suffering and also just to put something out in the world that I think promotes humanity and promotes getting along and loving one another and seeing everybody as alike than different. That's what I want to do. And so for this week, we're re-airing this amazing episode because you can learn a lot from it. I learned a lot. And I think it's just a special chat to re-listen to based on the state of the world. So without further ado, this long intro, it's great to be back. Thanks for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Zain and Menachem. And what's your
now
call?
You're showing off.
Do you have a call?
You don't have one?
Oi.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
How you doing? That's mine. You know what I mean? So an Italian Catholic, a Muslim, and a Jew walk into a bar.
I'm sorry, I don't drink. Can I get a mocktail?
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want?
I'll take hers.
Yeah.
Virgin mojito.
Nice.
At least one of us will be a virgin.
Have you never drank before in your life?
No, never.
Nice. And how about you, Menachem?
I drink. Yes.
Nice.
I feel like Jews make up for our cousins who don't drink by drinking extra.
Oh, nice.
We have l'chaim. That's
course.
just an excuse to drink all the time.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Dude, I'm not Jewish, and when I have water, I'm like mazel tov, bitch.
Right.
So
I feel like adding the bitch is sacrilegious, but I like it.
Okay.
But I like it.
Yeah, it's okay when you say it, right?
yeah, I feel like it's fine.
I wore my shirt. It says Italians are everywhere because what I want to start with you guys is the idea of identity. I'm so Italian from the East Coast in my comedy, in my personality. You two are great representations of your cultures, right? We identify so much with where we're from and the people we're from and the history, right? But what does it mean to you guys? I just saw you just stand up last night, Menachem, hilarious, making jokes about pronouncing your name. You wear the yarmulke. You're very devout, obviously. It's so important to who we are, but at the end of the day, we're also so alike. We were just talking about differences and how alike we are. I've always dreamt of sort of having this pairing in a conversation. And so basically, guys, thank you in advance for solving the conflict right now.
Oh, if I can just say, you're absolutely welcome.
She's doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here at l'chaim.
Always doing the heavy lifting.
But how important it's both of you guys are public people who, do material and comedy based on your culture. How important is it to you to kind of do that and also break down differences because you guys are good friends. We all love each other. I think through comedy can be a lot of power, and that's why I like this discussion, this topic.
So if I...
Please.
Am I too serious off the gate here?
No, I fucking love it.
Yeah?
Oh, I thought that was a joke question. Is this a real question?
Oh, shit.
We have to be serious now, Menachem.
Okay, we're being serious.
No,
Yeah.
serious, but sort of. CNN.com.
Hone in your Jewishness. I have to hone in my
We got
Muslimness.
this.
Yeah.
Go. Say
Okay.
you got this. And
I got it.
tag
I got
in.
it. Menachem and I have been friends for years. I fucking love this guy. I remember, actually, if I can just butt in there was a whole Kanye shit that was going on, and Menachem got some hate, and I was so upset for you. I went on your Instagram. I was like, if anyone messes with my Menachem, they got me to deal with, bitch. Nobody touches him. That's the thing. I think that the issue that arises between these cultures is because that we are so similar. Who's the person you hate the most? Usually your cousin. Let's be honest. You have that annoying aunt that you're like, damn, I wish she would just fall over and just die. You know? It's usually the person who's closest to you that you're super annoyed of. And I think that's the problem that goes on within the culture. I don't even want to say the religion, because honestly, our religions are so freaking similar and they're both so beautiful.
Yeah.
If you study the history of, you said you're Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Catholicism,
Raised Catholic,
Islam, Judaism, they're so similar and they're all so beautiful
Yeah.
in their own ways. I mean, honestly, when I'm practicing Islam, I'm practicing Catholicism, I'm practicing Judaism, because in the end, it's all about loving thy neighbor, which I wish our people would do more, right? Just like accepting each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm, in many ways, my spirit is Jewish. In many ways, my spirit is Catholic. And when I'm around Menachem, I feel that energy from him too. And we've been doing comedy together as a duo with our friend Tahran. Shout out to Tahran. And when we're together, we're like the best duo. Don't you agree?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
100%.
I think that's a great point. It's an openness, right? It's almost like I believe we're fed the idea that things should be divisive, like more than ever in our culture. News headlines, things we see, like you hate this, you hate that. I think you're a great example in that openness, but you're not really. Are you technically raised that way, or is that the way you developed and learned once you kind of grew in your faith and your understanding of other types of people? Like, did you grow up in America? Oh,
I grew
either
up in
one.
Either one. I grew up in America, and Zain, so did you, right?
I did.
Is that a part of your openness, you think?
I definitely think so. Kind of. So it's... I think that people forget that, let's say, a lot of the, conflict and stuff is more recent. Like, Jewish people, historically, we got along great in Middle Eastern countries for years and years. I'm saying, like, Jews and Arabs got along great. Obviously, there was, like, conflict, like Zain was saying. It's the hardest thing to do is look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because we have so many similarities. It's like, I had a joke about, like, my beard's frizzy, and I have the kippah. If I take the kippah off, I'm Muslim. And I'm like, oh, just kidding. They also have the hats. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, we are a very similar people, so it's hard to, like, live on top of each other. And I love what Zain was saying, where it's like, you're the meanest to the people you love.
Yeah.
You're the meanest to your brother. Like, brothers get into fights. Families get into fights. You get into fights with your parents or whatever it is. And I think that is part of the problem, but we, like, forget that for such a long time we got along great.
Yeah.
And then now we're kind of being, like, pitted against each other.
Totally.
In the media and different things.
My parents grew up in Iraq. They're both Muslim, and my mom went to a Catholic school. Their neighbors were Jewish. There was no issues back then between religions.
Yeah.
It's definitely what happens in the higher up without, pinning any, pointing fingers at people. But the people themselves, dude, we just want to love on each other. We just want to live our lives.
Yeah. You're kind of taught. I mean, I grew up like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I could be a judgmental Italian, there's judgment, right? Look at this fucking guy over, like that type of thing is a real thing though, from how I grew up. And in a way you have to like lose that. Like a lot of the conflicts that arise between religions, I think, is judgment. And it goes, hey, I'm judging the way they live. I don't like the way they do this. They don't do how we do this thing. Like, that's a real form of racism I think exists generationally, because it's like old school judgment, right? Would you agree? Like, oh, they don't like that person. Or is it ignorance? I don't know.
I don't even think it's ignorance. To me, I think it's just a bunch of power-hungry people who just developed this way of pitting us against each other. I think that's what it is. Slowly but surely, they put in these ideals within us that this is your enemy. This is,
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And people, I guess you could say, are ignorant and do feed into that. Thank God there are people like Menachem and I who do not feed into that mindset. But unfortunately, yeah.
I know, it scares me with the world. Go ahead, Menachem.
I was going to say, there's also like a level of insecurity where it's like, I'm Jewish and I hope this one is right. And saying this Muslim and hopes this one is right, and you're
Yeah.
Catholic and hope this one is right. So there's definitely that element like of a lot of people feel like we can't both be right.
Yeah.
So I want to tear you down because if you succeed, then I won't, and it's this race to the end. Like who's gonna end up in heaven? You know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right. It's like this like perfectionist thinking in a way. Like we have to get it right. I mean, I was taught that growing up. It's like this is the way, and if not, you're gonna burn forever. That's a pretty scary thought. Do it this way, or you're burning, bro.
I think we're all going to end up in heaven.
Oh my God, I thought you were gonna say hell.
I
was
thought
just-
you were
No,
gonna
no,
say
no.
hell, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
like we do comedy.
I don't know
going
about
straight
you,
down.
Paul, but I think Menachem and I are going to heaven. But I don't
100%
know.
heaven.
Yeah.
for sure. We're amazing. We're devout.
Thank you.
Okay, Paul,
Devout,
devout.
open people.
Wait a minute. In Judaism, do you guys even have a hell?
We have a hell.
You do.
have a hell.
It's like regular hell, just full of Jews.
Oh my God.
No, I'm kidding. So Judaism has a hell, but what we do is hell is more of like a cleaning service than like a
Ooh.
pit that you burn forever. So the like longest sentence you could have in hell is a year.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
like unheard of.
So it's like a nice jail.
It just cleans you. So basically your soul comes down pure.
Yeah.
When you sin, quote unquote, you get like dirt on your soul. And either you can fix it in this world, or worst case, you go to hell for a little bit just to clean it off and then go to heaven.
That's
I kind of like that setup, but I would. Do
I
some,
love that.
I would do some bad things, being
Yeah,
like, whatever. I'm just gonna go into a year, clean it up.
I think in Islam we have like 7 layers of hell or something like
That's like
that.
6 too many.
Yeah, yeah.
didn't
So
know
I
that.
don't know. I'm thinking about my religion.
Well, you have 7 layers of hell. I thought you just had 4 wives. I'm harping on the wives
We've
thing.
got that
That's-
too.
That's cool.
You've got 4 hells on earth with the wives, and then you got several layers.
Perfect. Yeah. 7 wives down under too. I bet. Yeah. That's so interesting. How much do you guys know? Because like I will say I went to Catholic school my whole life, and we did have 1 year where we went over all religions, and they were pretty open. They were like, here's what they believe, and we learned about everything. How much you guys know of everything, and how much is it similar? I do find it similar too in my own understanding. You know, do you know a lot about each other? Like you don't hug. Let's talk about this for a second. You guys don't hug. What
We don't hug.
What is that?
So for Jews, it's kind of like Beyonce. If you want it, you got to put a ring on it.
I like that.
So with men, we will only kind of like hug or touch a family member,
Okay.
and or your wife.
Nice. And
But
you're so
I-
attracted to Zain.
Oh my gosh!
You'd be like,
I'm
game
just-
over.
Exactly. It's so hard to be next to the couch with her.
One touch.
It's gonna
and
be me and his
just
wife in
exactly.
heaven. We're gonna all live together. He's already told me. I'm like, all right, I guess. I'll do it. You can touch me then. Huh?
Or by the way, that would suck. You die and you go to heaven. It's like still same rules. Same rules. Like I was always wondering. Okay, so they say like right, like when the Messiah comes,
Yeah.
no one will die. What if you're on your deathbed and you're super sick and you're a cripple and they amputated both of your legs and it's like Messiah's here, you'll never die, and the guy's like, I want to die. I want to die.
I feel terrible.
Like what
I'm
happens?
suffering.
No, like
Yeah.
do the legs
Yeah.
grow back, or is he just like, bro, bad timing?
Yeah. We're gonna get there, maybe.
We'll find out.
Is the Messiah AI? No, I'm just kidding. It's so sacrilegious. Yeah.
With the touching thing is I do touch, but I think that's for me it's everyone in their personal level. Like
Yeah.
I have friends that don't even cover up and they don't touch.
Are you covered on your head for religious reasons right now?
I'm so fucking sexy that if I took off my scarf, like you guys would just bow to me.
Well, I'm Italian, so
It's
the
true.
hair is a big thing
It's
for
a
us.
big-
It's a
yeah,
big peacock
yeah,
attraction thing
yeah.
for me. So you hide your attraction level.
Yes.
For
so
people.
it's a modesty thing.
Okay.
And I've been wearing the headscarf since I was 8 years old.
Wow.
It's no longer tied to religion for me, if I can be very frank and
Yeah.
honest. Because I did it so young, I didn't understand the religious aspect that I should have known. I definitely respect and I understand it now. But for me, the scarf has just become a part of
Yeah.
my clothing.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's your comfort zone, right?
Yeah,
like would you
100%.
feel exposed if you went to the supermarket without it?
Oh, yeah, totally. If it's like not wearing underwear. I'm
Yeah.
not that girl that can go out without underwear.
And you have like Cisco level silver dyed hair, right? I remember you telling
Oh,
me
I have
once.
stunning hair, like stunning. Like, okay, when we were my husband and I were engaged, and it was a time for me to take off my scarf. I swear to you, like he was about to faint. He was just like, "Damn, bitch."
Nice.
So yeah,
He didn't see your hair until you got engaged.
yes,
Nice.
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Me
I
and
was
my
sa-
wife didn't touch until we were married.
Really?
No,
Crazy.
Wow. That's
we
nice.
touched while we were engaged too, bitch.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Just never the heads. Yeah, it's never hair to hair. I
All
guess.
types of hair.
Nice.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
Now wait. Now, is there a level of Judaism that you followed to kind of keep that way with the touching and also with keeping kosher and stuff? Like, are you a certain level? Because I'm saying this the wrong way. Please, by the way, today I got to do a disclaimer. If I say anything insensitive about religion, it's because I don't know. It's pure ignorance. Because I'll be like, hey, you know that thing you do with the what level of Jew are you? You know, that's basically my question right now.
Well, my goal was to cancel you, so I'm so sad that you asked this question and then did
Dude, I'm canceling myself with this booking today. Whatever's going to happen with this white guy over here, it's over. It was fun while it lasted.
So I'm Orthodox and Hasidic.
Oh, wow. Double whammy.
So those are like the sects of Judaism that I am.
Okay, got it. I grew up with a lot of people in North Jersey that were Hasidic as well.
Nice.
Similar in New York and stuff, yeah.
Very
But they do the curls. You don't do the curls.
So we kind of have like we have like smaller ones. So now that I have a beard, it just bleeds into the beard. But let's say like for my son, he has a small one, not the curly ones. So that's like a different sect. So that's like Satmar versus Chabad. There's a lot of like subsects.
Wow. And what's the history with, and just to humor me for a second, like, because Christianity is similar. It's just that people break off and do different rules and different things. Is that kind of what happened with that history? It's
really like
levels?
where we were from, basically.
Okay.
So
And where
like
is that?
Sephardic Jews and Ashkenazi Jews are different just because it was like, kind of Jews that stayed more like in the Middle Eastern region / Spain and France versus the Jews that were, kind of more like Russia, Eastern Europe, that kind of thing.
Which one are you?
More like Russia, Eastern Europe.
Ashkenazi, right?
Ashkenazi.
Who also brought
Little
bagels
Sephardi,
to New York.
1/16.
That's
we
the ones
brought
that
bagels.
That's who brought bagels to New York. Was Ashkenazi, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So you're the better ones, right? Is what you're saying?
100%.
Yeah.
Well, our high point was bagels, and then we also invented something called gefilte fish. So like we ruined, I don't know if you know.
peaked. You peaked.
Yeah. Flew too close to the sun on that one.
Is there inner kind of jokes, like, because it happens with all cultures where, like, the Southern Italians are kind of poor and really emotional, where the Northerners are like, a little more put together and a little stuffier. Is it like that between Ashkenazi and Sephardic and historically? Like, you guys make fun of each other?
100%. What's funny is each one kind of like considers the other one like the fake Jews a little bit. It's like, like...
Yeah. Even I know that.
I know. It's like, the Sephardim, the brown Jews. They didn't even live through the Holocaust. Come on. Oh. And then you have the same thing. It's like, really? White Jews? Like, why are Jews white? Why would Jews look white? We're from Middle Eastern regions. Why are you white?
Yeah.
You can't be a real Jew and white. And it's that kind of like thing. But what's funny is Jews just love complaining and arguing. Even within the like sects, we argue.
Right.
Because again, it's like Ashkenazi Jews, there's like the non-religious Jews, the modern Orthodox, the Reformed, the Satmar, the Litvish, the Chabad. We have all these like subsects.
Ditto on Muslims.
It is.
Yeah.
And you guys you both strike me as being pretty devout within the faiths. Is that true?
I would say I think Menachem is more than I am.
Yes, I'm better than Zain.
Yeah,
Because he won't touch you.
Because I'm Jewish. Oh, and because
if we're going to hell, you go like to the 7th one. I'd be like at the bottom, number 1.
Oh wait, 1's worse.
I think
feel like
one is
7 is
worse.
hotter if it starts at 1 and then it gets to 7.
I feel like 7 would be like the one where like it's you guys the cleaning for an hour.
Oh, just like chilling. Okay,
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
7.
I love the
Just
1 year
jacuzzi and
cleaning.
7.
My gosh. Well, how productive with the Jewish faith. It's productive.
that,
Get it
too.
done. Get out of here. Go back and do something clean.
Yeah.
Zayn, make sure your mic's a little bit closer to your mouth. I'll make sure we hear you good. Are you comfy?
Yes. I am. Sorry.
Are we sweating
I'm pretty
yet?
loud. That's why I want to make
I know,
sure.
but no, I want to make sure we hear
Ready
you
from the
good.
heat of the questions.
Both. Do we feel like we're in the hot seat? I mean, I love talking to you guys because, like, as a comedian too, I always kind of talk about this topic where, like, I do believe anything should be talked about and joked about on stage for the most part. I mean, if it's criminal or like very hateful, I don't like that. Obviously, I'm not into those things. But both of you guys with your material, the way you do comedy, it breaks down. Like, we should be able to joke about this stuff, right? And Menachem, I saw you last night. You're ripping on everything, man. I love to see it. You're doing a whole thing on circumcision and all this crazy Jewish stuff. But, like, that, in a way, lightens whatever could be tough about differences. Do you guys agree?
For sure.
Yeah. I think that for me is I do riff on Muslims, and you do that on Judaism or Jewish people, but you don't do Muslims, and I don't do like I don't touch other religions or anything like that, because it's a hot spot.
Only a tiny bit when we're in a show together, because then it's just fun.
Oh yeah, we do that. Yeah,
I'm saying, like,
you're right.
Because to me, what's always funny is, again, there's so much crossover between us. Like, I got up and I was like, any Jews in the audience, any anti-Semites? People laugh, and I'm like, to reiterate, an anti-Semite means you hate Jews and or Muslims. Does anyone want to switch their answer?
That's something I learned from Menachem.
Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was a Semite.
Because we're both Semitic
Yes!
people. So if you are an
Oh.
anti-Semite, you are against the
I never knew
Semitic
that either
people.
because it's
Yes.
mainly in our mind. My mind, it's anti-Jewish.
Yes, it's been
Same.
branded because again, it's also like racist is not necessarily just towards black people, but
Right.
now we associate it with that. So anti-Semitism is usually talking about hate against Jews, but it's
Right.
not just Jews.
Yeah, I didn't know that until Menachem said that as a joke on stage. And then backstage, I was like, is that true? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God.
I didn't know that either. So
Yeah.
Semites are all Middle East, or am I wrong?
Parts of the Middle East.
Parts of
Yeah.
the Middle East.
Yeah.
The parts where the
That
historically
migrated, yeah,
Exactly.
to that area.
I'm not
Wild.
the super expert, but I'm an expert in being anti-Semitic, but towards Jews.
Sure,
but
sure.
not where the
You
Semitic
live to
regions
tell the
are.
tale.
I live to tell the tale.
You know,
I'm
you
a good
know.
Jew, but a better anti-Semite.
You're definitely going to that year cleaning. I'm sorry.
I know.
Just by saying that, I
I
can
know.
see you there. I'll see you in a year in heaven. That's okay.
But just to kind of like jump in on what you were asking, I think that part of the way we break stereotypes are making fun of how ridiculous stereotypes
Yeah.
are. So one of the things that I do like on my Instagram a lot is I will, instead of being like, Jews don't own the banks, I'll lean into it and I'm like, sorry, busy day, stuck, running the banks and controlling the weather and running the media and space lasers.
Yeah.
Like it's a tough day. It's a tough time to be the Jews. And I think that like I even made a blood libel joke that a lot of people got upset about. A blood libel, basically, they used to say that Jews took Christians and used Christian children blood to make their bread for Passover.
Oh wow.
Oh.
So I kind of like made a joke about that. But to me, like what I like doing is if you can poke fun at the stereotype and be like, clearly this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we all like agree that this is ridiculous? Okay, this was a real thing. And we have to make sure that stereotypes like that don't happen again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the only way to do that is to be able to like laugh about it and see like, we're all laughing, but this is a real thing
Yeah.
that happened. How did we let this happen? Let's not let it happen again.
Totally. Let's joke about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also fun when it's a stereotype of your own people. Like I say I bathe in olive oil all the time. I got garlic all over me.
But
like I'm
do
not
you?
a.
But
Well,
do
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Nice.
Look at
Good
my
to make
skin,
sure.
dude. Come on. But like, it's celebration too. Like in a way, like as I'm poking fun at my people, my cuisine, whatever it is. There's like a childlike fun to that I think is you both embrace in your comedy. That's important. Like
Self-deprecation, baby.
yeah, make fun of yourself, and also
Yeah.
it's also celebrating your stereotype, whatever it might be. Right?
Yeah, before anybody else can hit you with that, you hit them first.
Is that why you're funny?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm funny because I got two big titties and I wear a
Oh.
headscarf. Yeah.
Oh, that was it. That was it. That's
That's
wow.
all. That's all I got.
Tombstone
Is that what I
worthy.
need to be funny?
That's all you need. That's all you need. I think I always grew up as the funny kid. And so, but I didn't want to be the funny kid. I wanted to be the cool kid.
I think you're cool, funny.
Really?
Yeah.
So I never felt that I was cool. So I used self-deprecation to make myself look cool. So I think that's where I picked it up and I learned it. I don't use my religion as much as Menachem does, but I use a lot of things about myself that I find are quite hysterical and quite unique. That I
Totally.
put out there, yeah.
How about for you, like getting to the stage, upbringing, and also you're just naturally devout Jewish, but it's a big part of your comedy. That's also a choice, right?
Yeah.
Like you could hide it if you want. I don't know. Is that a weird thing to say? You could be.
I could put on a baseball cap and just joke about other things. And I think that when I originally started comedy, that's what happened. So for me, I'm one of 7 kids, grew up in Brooklyn, and it was just like you had to stand out in the crowd to get attention.
Yeah.
When there's 7 children, 2 parents, in a 2-bedroom apartment in New York, like you need to you develop personality.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of initially led me to wanting to be funny. And I always just like loved joking, loved writing. And what got me into comedy was actually through my writing. I was like pitching a show about comedians. And when I was
Nice.
pitching it, they're like, oh, Orthodox Jewish comic, that's hilarious. At the time, I was doing like open mics for fun. But I didn't think that people wanted to see like a Jew with a kippah doing comedy. To me, that was like a little aggressive. And once like the studio exec was like, I would love to see that. And we shot some test footage for the show that never ended up happening. I was like, if I might play a comedian, I need to step up my comedian game.
Nice.
And I started doing it and I loved it. And for me, the first thing that I did was barely make any Jewish jokes. Because I kind of felt like I was like, me getting on stage with the kippah and the tzitzit is the joke, and I don't need to talk about it. And I also didn't want to be like pigeonholed as the Jewish comic.
Yeah.
And then more recently, I've been like really, really just kind of like full on leaning into it. And I think that it's way more funny, way more personable, way more real, and potentially way more powerful
Yeah.
because I'm able to, kind of like have conversations about, these ridiculous stereotypes. Like, again, Jews we cut a piece of our penises off.
Yeah.
You have to talk about it. You have to joke about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I did it, and I did it to my son. So, like, we're doing it, but it's ridiculous. Let's joke.
Yeah. Poke fun at the realness. I also think authenticity matters so much as a comedian. Like, I'm learning the ropes of that as well. And, like, the more authentic we are and who we are, that's why I was talking about, like, how our identities and our culture. I'm getting more in touch with that, too. Like, I can't deny where I come from, what I've learned, where my family's from over in Europe. That's what people want to see. We want to make fun. We want to see realness. You both are such real people. That's what I love about you both. Like, and we just met. Like, I could tell right away you're so real. There's a power to that I don't want to see lost on comedy and in the world. And we're sold that we're not. We're sold that, like, this other idea, I think, a lot of the time.
I think it's also very important to say that Menachem and I, not to toot our own horns, but I'm going to, is that we got horns.
Toot away.
We got horns.
Nice. Hey.
Is that, what's it called? We're pioneers in this space.
Yeah.
I think for me, Menachem was the first real visibly Jewish comedian that I had seen on stage. And it was beautiful. And for a lot of people, I'm the first real, like, visibly Muslim, because there's a lot of Jewish comedians, there's a lot of Muslim comedians, but it's different when you can actually see it. So, I think I applaud us for that. That's being very authentic, is just that we are who we are, and we're funny doing it, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think that deserves an open mouth kiss. Go ahead, guys. Just trying
As
to.
opposed
We
to a
just
closed
solved
mouth
it!
kiss?
We
That was like, yeah.
That's how we're going to bring peace to the world.
It's funny. I don't mean to like. I'm just so intrigued by you both at these questions that are popping out. This is sort of this line of questioning because I'm inspired by the way you operate in your careers and your lives. And I don't want to argue it's an East Coast thing. Like, where did you grow up originally, Zain?
I'm from California.
So
I
you
came
are?
here when I was 2. Yeah.
From where? From Iraq.
No, I've
you were
never
born here.
been
That's
to
right, that's
Iraq.
right. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
no. I was born in Kuwait.
Oh, okay.
My parents were kicked out of Iraq because of Saddam Hussein,
Oh,
and then they went to Kuwait, and then I was born there. And then I came here when I was 2. I'm from Downey, California.
Wow.
Nice.
There's a theme park there.
No, not in Downey.
My bad. I'm new
You're thinking
here.
of Anaheim.
Maybe. Why did I
yeah.
think of Downey?
No.
Maybe
Yes,
they'll
you're-
build one. It'll be a shrine to Zayn.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
A hijab-shaped
The tunnel
roller
of
coaster.
boobies. Oh,
Yeah.
I like how you say. I like how he goes hijab, and I'm like the tunnel of boobies.
Well, Dolly Parton has her park, I think.
Oh
based
my
on,
God!
You know, it's similar.
You know, I adore Dolly Parton. If I can be the hijabi Dolly
doesn't?
Parton,
You
I
could.
would.
Yeah, we love
I totally
Dolly
am. I told. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
That
Why
would be
not?
good.
Why not?
Yeah.
I ask about the openness because I think growing up near New York matters for the way you are in a way. Like, there's all types of people are there. L.A. and California strikes me as silos of cultures. So, like, you probably didn't see a lot of Jewish people growing up.
I didn't see a lot of anybody. I was
Yeah.
just a bunch of white people in the beginning. I mean, when I was growing up, kids thought, as I wore it with this headscarf when I was 8, kids thought I had cancer.
Wow.
And that's why I wore. But I will tell you, I was the first one to get invited to Chuck E. Cheese. And to get the goodie bag, so it was worth it to have cancer. Because after that,
never
people
corrected
were
them.
just like, "You're a terrorist." It was either cancer or you're a terrorist.
Wow.
Yeah, just like
full extreme.
flipped on me. But no, I didn't see barely any Jewish people. It was just a bunch of white people. Yeah.
Yeah. I always say there's no, I mean, ignorance and hate is obviously a reason for racism, but I always say from being in New York so long, like, if we bust all people that are in New York, all mixes of racist to, like, really racist Midwest or places that don't see it, I feel like it would help a lot. Like, when you live amongst each other, you feel differently in a way about how everybody lives. And I'm
Yes.
sure you had that in New York, though you're from a very Jewish part of Brooklyn.
Very Jewish part.
So-
but I'm saying we're still close enough to the city and
Yeah.
the park and stuff, so we still definitely had other cultures around
Yeah,
us.
I think it matters so much to, like, how we see the world. But this challenge, I think, with the world we're in now is, like, there's silos of communities and people are all around the same thing, and it's like that's all people know. I'm not making excuses for racism, but I'm like, they need to see more people.
I mean,
sure.
that's yeah.
Oh,
go
could I
ahead,
jump in
Malcolm.
for a sec?
Please.
So I have a friend who's Armenian, and what's funny was, so his grandfather told his dad, who had never met a Jew in his life, said, when you go to America, stay away from the Jews. They're
Wow.
going to cheat you in business, stay away from the Jews. And again, this entire family had never met a Jew in their life. My friend's dad moves to LA, starts working for the New York Times, works with a bunch of Jews, and tells his son, only work with Jews. They're the honest people, and you can trust them. You can go to business with them. But it's just, again, funny how it's like there are these stereotypes. And if, like, if you're never around a Jew and you're like, oh, Jews who have horns and they hide it under their hats and, like, all these kind of, like, weird things. It's like, if they're painted as monsters, then you'll think they're monsters. If somebody's never met a Muslim and they're like, oh, my gosh, terrorist or terrorist with cancer. I don't know if sometimes
that was her bag for a couple of years.
Exactly. But you know what I mean? Like, if I've never met this character that's painted as a terrible terrorist who's going to murder me and my family, if I see Zain, I'm going to be terrified because I'm going to be like, terrorist that's going to murder my family. But if you actually, again, get the chance to meet someone and have the conversation and get to live outside of the stereotypes and actually see another human.
It's just openness too. It's like, it's generational too. Like you hear stereotypes, even from my age group of growing up with certain groups. Like my grandparents were from Italy and said some pretty racist things. Loved them to death. It was generational. It was like, this is what they were told. Like your point.
I think my parents had to unlearn some racism too. I think it still lasts within, it takes time as you grow up. You learn certain things like were not right to say or not right to think. So, and even as we're growing, we're unlearning certain things, But to piggyback on all this, I was going to say that what's so important, if I can speak for Menachem too, is that because people have these stereotypes of who we are and what we're like, that's why we want to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So you can see someone like Menachem, see someone like me and not think, oh my God, that's not a terrorist. Oh my God, that's not a money hungry, whatever individual. You know what I mean? They're just human. They're just funny. They're fun. They're loving. They're caring. They bleed, they cry, they come, they got it all. I don't know about you.
Well, we can't bleed and come on stage. So, but we can cry.
Says you, bitch. I don't know.
Zayn shows are wild. Huh? Your old shows.
You don't want to see
Bring
my
a poncho.
Yeah.
You,
my shows are pretty wild.
Are they? Will you go back on stage, Zane, anytime, or no? You're not doing stand-up as much?
I haven't done comedy for a long time because it just doesn't bring me as much joy as acting does. But I love supporting my friends and watching them. But my shows were pretty raunchy. They really represent a part of me that not a lot of people see. And I was desperately wanting people to see that. I think because for so long, people look at me and think, oh, what a sweet little girl, Where I'm like, no, I get down too. And so a lot of my jokes were like that. We were very different when we were on stage. It was wonderful.
Okay, so very, very quick funny story.
Yeah,
me and Zayn
please.
do a show. Okay,
Yeah.
so the show was for a Persian crowd. So the host was a little worried that because they're like conservative and stuff, he didn't want us to be too dirty. So he didn't say anything to me and Zayn, but we had a Hispanic comedian with us. And he goes over to the Hispanic comedian and says, please don't joke that much about sex. Dildos, like, don't be too dirty, because this guy usually does. He's like, oh, fine, I won't be dirty. And then, again, Tehran doesn't say anything to me or Zayn because, okay, Jew, Muslim, it's fine.
Yeah.
And Zayn gets on stage, and within 2.5 minutes, she's talking about dildos. She's talking about multiple dildos coming to her house. And
I have a dildo collection, people.
It's just like the dirtiest, raunchiest set. And me and Renee, the Hispanic comedian, are dying. The poor host is uncomfortable. And the host turns to me, he's like, how would I know? I was supposed to warn the hijabi comedian not to talk about dildos. And then the Hispanic comedian's like, I get one dildo joke now.
There you go.
And then I get backstage and I was like, how did I do it, Tehran? He was just like...
But it is funny, and it's interesting to kind of, again, like, see her joke about these kind of things openly, because it's, they're real things and they're real conversations that you don't expect, because people a lot of times will look at, let's say, an Orthodox Jew or somebody who's a devout Muslim as kind of like aliens, as they're like these weird creatures that, like, we can't, like, relate to, we can't be, we have nothing in common with.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see, again, like, when Zayn is talking about, like, very, like, real topics that everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow, you're a real person. Or, again, the same thing with me. Like, I like being open and honest about, like, all these conversations, because it's like she was saying, I bleed too. I'm not going to say the other ones, but I bleed too. You know what I mean? Like, we are all people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what breaks it down too. Like, it's important you're doing that. And I think that it must be liberating, like, because I think to your point, at face value, if you're not Muslim or Jewish, and seeing, really, it's the dress. It's like you wear a yarmulke, you have the hijab. Am I saying it right?
Yes, hijab. Yeah.
People think it's conservative because traditionally, though, it is conservative. Like, I actually just did my first almost all Muslim show with the T5 boys. Shout out to T5 Comedy, boys from Chicago.
Nice.
These guys had me host this show, and I felt the line with the crowd that you're describing, where I was like, there was women in the crowd with hijabs. I thought, and I opened the show, and I'm like, let me see what I can get away with and kind of push the line. When at the end of the day, everybody wanted to laugh and have a good time, and people joked about everything, and it was like it was raucous, right? Because everyone wants to laugh and have some levity. And I would imagine in these cultures too, like if it is strict or if devout, or people are really, those people who are just so in it, like tight conservative, they want to let loose and have fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, and every religion, every culture has that. It's like we're almost not allowed to if you're really devout. Like it's like you get in trouble if you joke about this thing or something. So I love that you guys break that down. Like, no, we're real. Let's laugh. And your people probably like, oh yeah, finally.
Yeah.
He's joking about, I always thought that, but like I would never say it to my parents or whatever it is, right?
Not all of them. I don't know how Jewish people approach you. You're kind of more with your comedy it's more subdued. Like, it's hysterical, but you're like, But with me, I'm kind of more raunchy and out there, and I can tell you I get a lot of hate.
From Muslims?
From Muslims. I get a lot of hate. But I also get a lot of love. But I don't do Muslim-centric comedy shows. I never did. I think I did like 3 the whole entire time that I did stand-up. And I have people I recommend who only do Muslim-centric. That's all they do. And I'm like, hey, I'm not going to do it, but here's somebody I can recommend.
Yeah.
Just because I know I'm going to go up there and I want to be my authentic self, and I don't want anyone to feel like uncomfortable listening to me. And I, of course, I can make it PG rated or whatever. But there's still parts of me, like I cuss like a sailor, and sometimes I remember I did this show, it was like for Muslims, and I was all like, yeah, but fucking, and then everyone's like, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, it's like certain things like that. So I just have learned to stay away from those kind of shows that I won't do.
This is a generalized question from the white Italian. Are Muslims quicker to be offended online with your stuff, you think, than a traditional Jewish community would be for yours?
I can speak for myself 100%.
Saying, yeah, I'm wondering.
Oh, Jews are really nice to me. I don't have any issues.
It's funny.
But I mean, do your people get mad at you too?
Oh, yeah. People get really mad. So the first thing is, I do have people that are like, how dare you wear a yarmulke and tzitzit on stage at the Laugh Factory?
Oh, wow.
Really?
How dare you bring like our religious garb to like comedy? Which is kind of funny because I look at them, I'm like, would you rather me take it off? Like, you as a religious Jew, would you rather me not be myself, take it off, and then go on stage?
Pretend you're not.
I'm bringing what I have to the stage.
Yeah.
Then I will also get people who get offended by elements of my comedy or let's say sketches because, again, I like leaning into the stereotypes.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, we do have horns. Like just kind of do that. And they're like, well, people are going to believe you and then you're causing anti-Semitism. And I'm kind of like, have to reiterate to them, I'm like, I promise you, anybody who hates Jews will watch my videos and still hate Jews. And anybody who doesn't hate Jews will not watch my video and be like, you're right. You're right. They are the worst. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to do is to like this neutral crowd
I love it. Yeah.
who doesn't know about these stereotypes. Like, again, I did this blood libel joke. And a lot of Jews got really pissed. They're like, how dare you make fun? How dare you joke about blood libels? How dare you joke that it's real? This is terrible, da-da-da-da. I had 3 non-Jewish followers message me and say, we watched your video. It was so ridiculous that we Googled it and we're shocked that it was a real thing.
Wow.
And we're so sorry. And that is the point of what I do.
Yeah. It's information,
Yeah.
I love... There's a danger I think we all are attracted to in comedy that I really enjoy about all this. It's like you're putting stuff out there. People have opinions. I love like the like someone might get mad at this. Someone, I don't know. Like I'm gonna push the envelope. I have a real point to make, and you guys are smart about it. You're not just up there like doing stuff. Like I feel like you have levity to your writing and your material and your comedy, especially online with your stuff, Zain.
Yeah.
There's some danger though that I love. Like I'm newer to stand up, but there's a danger like, oh, maybe this might cancel me or this might piss off Italians or might piss off this group. You guys, as your personalities, I feel like you like the danger a little bit, right?
I love the danger.
Yeah, I do it.
I live for the hate comments. I get so many. I don't know about you, Menachem, but The majority are hate comments on my
What?
TikToks. Yeah,
You got big on TikTok from hate?
In Arabic.
Oh.
Because
By the way, the hate does good though. The hate for the algorithm, the more comments.
Oh, well, I live for it.
So I should go-
hate me more.
I should go
Hate
like
me
right
more.
wing pundit for my TikTok to grow more, just rail against everybody.
No, not everybody, just yourself.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. There's a line. There's a line.
All right.
But what Menachem was saying, everybody comments, take off your scarf, take off your scarf. I'm like, all right, you rather I just take off my scarf and do the same skit or keep, like, it makes, okay, you see the way I'm dressed?
Yeah.
I had somebody that I really care about and love say, I have become a woman of the streets, but not to Shawada. It's in Arabic.
You're a woman of the streets right
Yeah,
now?
I'm one of the women of the streets. I was like, I ain't getting
But
paid
wait,
enough to be the
streets
woman
or
of the streets.
The
The
streets.
streets. The streets. And I'm like, I am not getting paid enough to be a woman of the streets here, but I'm loving the attention. So let's keep it going. But yeah, the biggest hate I get is from Arabs, Muslims, but typically in the Middle East, not here. And when I was doing my content, it was totally my fault, is I catered to Middle Easterns. I wish I had not done that. If I can tell anybody anything, that's my camera, right?
Yeah.
If I could tell you anything, don't cater to just one group, because that was my problem. Is now I'm stuck in this group of people and a lot of them hate me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my videos go viral and stuff.
But they're all like, look at this. I can't believe you said
Yeah.
that.
But I mean,
There's
like,
some danger to that. That's fun, though.
oh my God, I enjoy it.
If you go over there, though, like, you're going to have to look over your shoulder.
I'm probably going to get kidnapped in Iraq.
Really?
That's why I don't go to Iraq at all, because
that's where you're
I'm
from.
scared. I've never been to Iraq. My aunt's husband was kidnapped. Yeah, there's
Actually?
he actually was,
Wow.
and we had to pay like $250,000 to get him out.
Who kidnapped them? The Iraqis themselves?
Some guy who knew he had family that made money, and so they kidnapped
Wow.
him, asked for that money, and then released him. He had PTSD. Poor guy passed away now. He had like so much trauma from that. And I'm like, if I go to Iraq, I'm definitely going to get kidnapped. People are going to ask for, I don't know, a lot of money that I don't got. And my husband's going to be like, you can keep her.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was going to say that's actually like as traumatic as it is, it's a compliment to know how much you're worth. Like if I got kidnapped and they're like, we'll give him back for $300, I'd feel really
Oh,
shitty.
that's
if they
very
were like
true.
$5 million, I'd be like, $5? You think
Yeah.
I'm worth $5 million to my family? Like that's nice.
That's true.
it's actually very
Yeah.
true.
Isn't that
How
bad?
much am I worth?
Yeah.
Write it down in the comments.
Also, you could, like, I know you probably won't because you're so connected, obviously, with the hijab, but, like, you could go there and take the hijab off for the first time and just, like, change your outfit and you'd be fine.
Be
Like, we don't know. We don't
I don't know
recognize.
who this girl is. Zain, comment
They just
who
have the
is this?
sketch, and the sketch artist just wrote it with her hijab. Nah, this one has hair.
No,
We're good.
No.
We're good. Yeah. She's cool.
She's good as I'm walking through.
Do you have any interest, though? I mean, like, I really learned a lot about who I am and where I come from when I saw where my grandparents were born in Italy. Do you have a yearning to want to do that?
So I've never been to Iraq, and I want to desperately say I have a yearning, but I don't. I want to desperately say I want to go to the motherland and eat the food, and I know the Iraqi people are some of the most beautiful, giving, kindest souls, but I don't have a yearning to go. I wish I did.
You have a yearning to have that yearning that other Iraqis have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. At least you're being honest.
Yeah, that's my honest
But
truth.
also sometimes you feel it when you get there. Like I wasn't
I
like
wonder.
dying to go to Israel.
Yeah.
And then when I went, I was like, oh my, like I get it. I get it now that I'm here. Before that, it was like, okay, it sounds like a beautiful destination to go to.
I would agree with that based on my own experience in Italy, too.
You went to fucking Italy, bitch. So,
Yeah.
like, it's not the
You know what?
same.
Iraq is the Italy of the Middle
Yeah,
East.
it's
What
not
are you
the same
talking
as
about?
us.
Why don't you just come to my family in Italy?
Okay, I have
we'll
a yearning
take-
to go to Italy now.
We're fine with
Eat
that.
some pasta.
A couple letters off, you're fine, you know? You did Birthright? Is that what it's called when you go?
I did Birthright.
It's called Birthright, right? And you go.
The most Jewish thing. I went to Israel for free.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
I was
actually.
like, pay? No. Free? Okay.
Honestly, I think but I wish everyone did that. It's brilliant.
So
like you
good.
go and you see, and I'm sorry I'm asking questions like that. I feel like everybody probably knows, but for people who don't know, like, just explain quickly. You basically go for how long? You learn where culture's from.
So what they want to do is they want to bring Jews back to Israel. So it's like a tourism thing. So they want to like have Jews connect to their roots and hopefully again bring more, tourism money and people to Israel. So they raise money and they will kind of like bring Americans and people from all over the world to Israel for a 10-day free trip to kind of reconnect to your Jewish roots, basically.
Nice.
So for 10 days, they just like take you on a tour through Israel and to a bunch of like really cool, historical spots, the Western Wall, etc. And
Cool.
then you just get to kind of like experience your heritage.
Nice.
And
Now,
yeah.
let's add the rivalry back. Who goes? What's the numbers? More to Birthright or more to Mecca? Who wins?
Oh, definitely more to Mecca.
There are definitely a lot more Muslims than there are Jews, you know?
Yeah,
Look at me.
yeah.
I'm trying to solve the conflict, and then I
If
immediately go
1%
right
of
into
Muslims show up, they beat us.
No, that's awesome, man. That's cool that you guys get to do that. I respect that. Like, I wish all cultures did that. I feel like, to your point, you really do feel connected and you understand more about. It's important to know where we come from and then know like how we evolved. And I'm so grateful. I come from one guy came over to America, and that's why I'm here. One guy. So I think it's interesting when you look at our roots.
Why did he come to America? Do you know?
World War II.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a longer story, but basically, he fell in love with my grandmother, and her sister fell in love with an American soldier. So she came to America following this guy. She wasn't even really in love with him. She just wanted to come here to get out of Italy. So they had that, and then my grandfather followed my grandmother, who was following her sister. The other part, I don't want to make this about me, but my grandfather was hit with a tank in the war and was in a coma for like almost a year.
Wow.
So he woke up and he just was a different guy. And he was kind of almost like it almost was an irrational decision, the only guy in his family to come over here. And he had a dent in his head his whole life. And he was angry his whole life that he came. But here I am in a podcast studio with a Muslim and a Jewish guy. And look at this.
I love that. America.
Look at that. America. Thank you,
America.
Vincenzo. I'm here.
it's all thanks
We're
to that
also
one
everywhere.
tank driver who was just
Seriously.
drunk, didn't know what he was doing, and just
It is wild to think because he kind of woke up and was like, I'm going to America when he woke up. Like
crazy.
A lot of
crazy.
the thing for me was I think my family left Iraq because of a lot of trauma. They were made to leave Iraq because my grandpa was very wealthy, and Saddam Hussein pretty much kicked him out. His army came and put them in tanks and sent them to a refugee camp that they lived there for months, where they were barely fed. Everybody had lice.
Oh my God.
It was horrible. My mom would tell us like horror stories. And then my many of his friends were murdered and everything. And so I think for them, it was so much trauma that I guess I never saw Iraq in a beautiful way. You know what I mean? I think because I heard so much of those sad stories, even though like it is a beautiful country and it has, it's the cradle of fucking civilization, Iraq is. So, but you know what? I feel that way. Then maybe when I go there, I'm going to be like, oh, this is it. Because I've never felt like I belonged anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt like that when you went to Israel, but I've never felt like I've belonged anywhere. Like no matter where I've been to Dubai, in the Middle East. I've been, I went to Kuwait. I lived there for about a year, a couple of years ago. And I still didn't feel like I belonged. So I wonder if I would have that feeling.
I think we're breaking down your yearning a little bit.
I think so.
I think we're gonna kidnap
Move
you.
over. I'm gonna lay down now.
We're gonna kidnap you and just drop you off
Drop
there.
me off
And you'd
there,
be like,
okay.
Michael, now I'm
If I get
forced.
kidnapped, you bitches better raise that money. Go fund me.
Go fund me, yes.
But I feel like
fund
this: if
me.
we kidnap you and drop you off there, the kidnappers are going to see you and they're going to be like, too easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They want to fight. They want to
your
challenge.
your GoFundMe title is going to be, how much is she really worth? What's the number that you want to do here for her?
I got some valuable bags. Just sell that shit. Take my gold. Sell that.
If you get kidnapped, can I have the earrings?
Yeah, I like
Yes.
those earrings.
Okay, good. Just
One
making
for each of you.
I don't want you to get kidnapped, but if
you.
get kidnapped.
Are they really on
Definitely.
your ears or is it on your hijab?
No, it's on my hijab. I got inspired by this hijabi girl that I saw wear these, and I was like,
so they're
I can do that.
hijab rings.
Yeah, these are Scoparelli dupes. If you guys know Scoparelli.
No, you name dropping fashion just because I'm wearing a curtain jacket.
Sorry.
This is
I'm
TJ Maxx.
fashionable. No, I've just.
Nice.
You know what? I have just to move away from religion. I've just fallen in love again with my body.
Good for you.
Yeah, and as a bigger person, I think that's very hard to do, and so I'm starting to enjoy fashion.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So
And you look
Shout
great
out.
today.
Thank
look at that
you.
fashionable outfit.
Thank
You're
you.
sparkling. You're like
yeah,
it's-
because I used to say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy these outfits when I'm skinny and all this stuff." Now I'm like, "Fuck, I'm gonna buy them now."
good for you. You're looking.
yeah.
You look great.
Thank you. I think I do too.
You should be celebrating. How many? Do you have kids?
I have 2 kids.
How old are they?
I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Damn, boy, girl. What is it?
It's a boy and a girl.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have a little puppy. He's a little over
Not a
year
child
now.
though, but cute.
He's still I was telling my husband this the other day. I was all like, I'm Muslim, but I believe in past lives. I don't know what that means. But so I was telling my husband that in a past life, this was our son. But he must have done something kind of shitty and became a dog. Not that I freaking love dogs, but I'm like, something must have happened that he's a dog in this life, because I used to always say that I'm missing, I don't know, you have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have kids as
Yeah,
well?
yeah,
You
two
do,
kids,
right?
yeah, 2 girls.
So do you ever feel like you're missing another kid?
Sure. I don't think dogs
You
are
don't think
kids.
it's
I'm a
your
little
dog?
hard in the paint about dogs are not kids, but
What
I
about
hear
cats?
you.
What about cats?
Cats are just dicks. I don't think they're.
I agree with
I-
that. They're assholes.
But I hear what you're saying. You feel very connected to the
Yeah.
dog.
So once we had Teddy, I was like, that's it. I don't need another kid. This is my kid.
Yeah, but you're not
Like-
putting the dog in diapers in a stroller, are you?
No.
I have a line with this. Here's my problem. People think I'm a murderer because I never had dog love growing up. So I was one of 5 kids, a lot of kids. We never had time to take care of a furry animal. We were the furry animals.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time believing they're children. Also, there's a lot of people who talk to me about parenting with dogs and no kids, and
Okay,
I go,
that's
stop putting it in the same sentence.
No,
It's
it's a whole different thing.
but you have both, so you can walk the
Yeah,
walk.
yeah, I have
it's
both.
okay.
I can leave my dog for a couple hours and be okay. I can't leave my kids for a couple
No,
hours.
but neither in a hot car.
But neither. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
I said
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I said I don't know why I went there. Now, how old are your kids, Menachem?
My son just turned 7, and my
Nice.
daughter is 5.
You both have a boy
So
and a
little.
girl. That's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
You're done too, Menachem?
My mother-in-law doesn't think so, but we'll find out.
Nice. Now, is there beliefs in is there like a certain you're one of 7, so you kind of have it ingrained to have a lot of kids? Maybe I do in a way.
Yeah, I think that Italians like Jews.
Yeah.
Because I think we also have tons in common. Where
Totally.
It's like the only people that could put 7 starches on a table, and it's not enough. It's like you got Shabbat dinner. You need bread.
Uh-huh.
You need
I love
noodles.
that.
You need a rice. You need a potato. Like
All
you gotta
the
have.
carbs.
You just gotta have
We
all the
need
carbs.
it.
Just
We need it all.
starches, carbs. Gotta have it.
And wine.
And oh my
It's the
gosh,
same thing.
Of course. Well, how are you gonna wash it down?
Exactly.
You're just gonna eat without drinking wine? That's crazy. That's
Exactly.
crazy. Sorry, I know you don't drink, but
Now I want to be invited.
But yeah, so it's the same thing with Jews and Italians. We love having kids.
Yeah.
Like my friend, his dad is Italian, his mom is Jewish. 10 kids. You got to.
It's comes to the territory.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things. So we have 2 for now, and we'll see. I don't know.
I love that, man. Yeah, I do think generationally people are having less kids, so it's but maybe not.
Oh, totally.
In general, it's expensive. It's different time. I don't know.
Yeah, especially like private Jewish school. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I want them to be a sponsor.
You gotta
I
do
want them to
birthright.
sponsor my
Some
Instagram.
birthright sponsorship.
especially around
you know?
here or
Yeah.
where you live.
Right, birthright
Oh my
for kids
God.
school. I'm in. I would do 10 days. 10 days of free school for a year. Let's go.
Let's go. Why not? I'm looking at what I have here to drink, so I could give you guys a drink for the show here.
You have olive oil?
I know. Do you want some olive oil? 'Cause you
I
don't
would love
drink?
olive oil.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's put that.
You're just gonna drink some olive
Yeah,
oil? Really?
yeah. Go
You know,
for it. It's so good for
This
so
is,
good for you.
by the way, just a quick aside. Starbucks started selling olive oil and espresso together. Like they're just ripping off my people
Really?
even more now. They have a drink that mixes our best export with our. Starbucks is based off. It's what we do in Italy, and now they're putting them together.
Okay, wait a minute. Why
making
do you
money?
have olive oil in your hair? You do put it in
For his hair
your drink?
and his
Oh.
face.
for
You
everything,
got to.
for
You got
everything.
a little olive.
No, I'll drink it in the morning, and then I'll lather it on my skin, and then when you guys leave, I'll look in the mirror and I'll lather it on my face for another 5 minutes, and then after that, I'll cook pizza with it, and then after that, I'll rub my
Wait.
toes with it.
Pizza off your face. Do you rub it off your
Yeah,
face
well, the
onto the
sweat-
pizza, or do you pour new?
I need to have the olive oil run through my sweaty arm that then drips onto some of the sauce.
Flavor adds. That's the flavor. Character.
And it kind of looks like what you're wearing
This is
after
very
a little
sexual
while. The
to me. I'm
the
into this.
The hairy wrists
My
kind
little
of drip
fur.
up the
Yeah,
hairy
yeah,
wrist,
yeah.
the fur. And that's my afternoon.
Nice.
So we're mixing cultures here. You're gonna have some olive oil.
I will take the olive oil.
And then I'm gonna pour you an Italian thing too. Why not? Why not share my Italian culture with you two?
Nice.
If you're,
Yeah.
are you,
We
are
just
you
have to make sure it's kosher.
oh shoot!
oh, does your alcohol
No, but
have
a
to
lot-
be kosher?
even alcohol?
No, so like whiskeys, like all like whiskey, like a lot of stuff is kosher. Like whiskey.
What isn't
vodka.
kosher alcoholic wise?
When it's flavored. The second you add the flavor, it needs to specifically be kosher. As long as it's
Interesting.
unflavored, we're good.
well, wait, I have like
You guys are way harder.
I
with
know,
the
we're
kosher and
hardcore,
the
we're
halal
hardcore.
thing.
Kosher is really
guys. You
tough.
rather eat halal than kosher. Let me tell you this: kosher is so hard.
Look
to
at him
keep
though.
up.
Forget keto. Forget gluten free. Go kosher. This
Yeah,
guy's
you
staying with
didn't
2
eat
kids.
much.
No dad bod here, man. That's nice. By the way, look at this. It's this golden.
You should have did a
Olive
little
oil.
shot glass.
I have a glass from our unofficial sponsor, the Smokehouse in Burbank. They're not a sponsor, but I ate dinner there.
Not
once.
yet. Not
Okay,
yet.
Here's olive oil for Zain.
Perfect.
All right, wait. Now I'm really curious.
Okay.
Smells
How
like
hard is
Rome.
it? How hard is it? Yeah, right. It smells good. How hard is it keeping kosher in 2023?
To be honest, it's actually very easy.
It's easy in LA.
Significantly easier than it's ever been. 'Cause,
That's
like,
good.
Most products will be kosher. Like, I bet the olive oil has a kosher symbol on it.
Really? What is the kosher symbol? I have no idea.
There's like a little OU and OK. Usually, if there's a little Hebrew on it.
Don't see it here. On this one.
I look for that
The
symbol.
Italians,
too.
they're like, nah, we're not going to go to you. You come to us. We're not
Well,
making
you know what the
kosher."
Italians would do? Like my cousins in Italy would be like, "Oh, you're kosher? Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Don't worry about it. There's nothing in it.
Don't
You're
worry
good, you're
about
good.
it.
It's fine, it's fine." I told you just quickly this story about me in Brooklyn. And my dad used to produce music videos for a yeshiva boys choir in Brooklyn. It's probably Crown Heights, honestly, where you're from, right?
Either that or Flatbush, right?
It was
next to each
around
other.
there, and I was a production assistant with 100 Jewish kids singing songs, and we all had to get lunch. And I was the guy who had to go get the pizza, and they said, go to the kosher pizzeria. And I didn't know the difference. I got like 40 unkosher pizza pies, sat down with a ton of starving kids and a whole choir. And literally, it was like out of a movie. The guy was about to eat it. And he's like, wait, was this the kosher place? And I was like, what do you mean? Nobody ate. Me and my Italian dad and the rest of the non-Jewish people, we pigged out. We had pizza for weeks in my neighborhood. This poor production. And they were like, you bastards. So I feel bad about that. All right, wait,
Nice.
hold on.
I keep halal too, so like that's something we haven't we're similar.
If not, I can do the olive oil too.
Should we keep it booze free and just do olive oil? And
should we just
why
do
don't all
olive oil
drink
shots?
olive oil?
We'll keep
I mean,
it Italian.
Well, I had what's funny is my Russian friend, so his dad, anytime we'd like go out to drink, he would make us take a spoonful of olive oil.
It's great
because
for you.
he's like, no, but also it coats your stomach.
Yeah.
So if you're going to drink alcohol, you want to olive oil more, and then you can...
do not feel like if you
Drink
shoot
more.
this a lot of olive oil. I also let's just do. You know what? It's funny to me as the Italian in the group that we just all drink olive oil together. I think I like that moment.
I
So
love
we're gonna
that.
make that
Bringing
moment
us
happen.
really together now.
Oh wait. Let me check that. Now I'm nervous.
I'm pretty sure it's that one is. I'll double check. There should be like a little OU.
It says vegan on the back.
Let's
That's
see.
it. Here, take a look.
Because that one is the Whole Foods, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't even have like solid olive oil for you guys. I have this Bush League. Hold on.
OU right
Yeah,
here.
there it is.
See, right in the front.
It's a U that's circled.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, let me see the placement of the OU. I'm curious now.
They kind of try to hide it, which is weird. They pay a lot of money and then they hide it on the bottle.
Dude,
That's
they pay a lot of money
anti-Semitic.
for
They
it.
want
Pay a
people
lot
to
of money.
wait. They want people to. Oh, it's Jewish, but why are they hiding it?
Because I think they don't want it to like ruin the aesthetic of the bottle, so they'll just like put it in.
I see it now. The little U. Look at
Little
that.
OU. I'm actually excited.
It smells amazing.
delicious. Oh,
Yeah, it smells
extra virgin olive oil?
amazing.
Heck yeah.
I like how you have olive oil here.
This is a first for me too. Usually we'll have like a drink or something, or like a cocktail. But you know what? You don't drink,
No.
and we don't have lots of kosher alcohol. So this is what is the
what we're gonna
good
do.
compromise for the
This is
mix
what's
of.
going to bring us together.
Also, let's talk about something. If you want to talk about differences of culture, everyone makes great olive oil. Every place we're
Very
all
true.
from makes great olive oil. It's like where's the best? I don't like the Greeks, but that's because I just like saying they don't make good olive oil, but it's just as good as ours.
I went to Greece. Their olive oil was amazing.
It's amazing. I know. I
Yeah.
like joking that ours is better. I
Yeah.
didn't mean the people. I meant the
No,
olive
I
oil.
agree.
Well, I'm saying
all those
like
are olives.
I hate Greek olive oil because notoriously the Greeks messed with our olive oil, and that's the whole Hanukkah story.
Really?
The story of
Really?
Hanukkah is us against the Greeks.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Greeks destroyed the temple, shit on our olive oil. We found one jug that was pure, lasted 8 days.
Wow.
So Greeks just being assholes about olive oil gave us a holiday. So I actually should thank them.
Every time I meet a Greek, I go, "Who has the best olive oil?" And they always say they do, And the messed up part is I'm kind of fighting my own history because the town my grandfather's from is Toro del Greco in Italy, so it's Greek history. So in a way, I can't do 23andMe. I'm so nervous. They'll be like, "You're 100% Greek." I'm so
Stop.
Italian. We're very similar though.
Oh, 100%.
but like for some reason, I can't do it.
Yeah. For us, though, I'm saying like the Greeks just messed with us historically. But yeah, the Italians were good up until World War II.
That was only half of us, for the record.
That's true. It's true.
I just want you to know.
Which half are you from?
Well, he
Which-
got hit
which
by
half?
a tank. Think about it.
Oh, it's true.
okay?
That's good. Nice. Okay, you're
And
good.
it wasn't, he came here and followed the American soldiers. So we were,
Oh, so you're
my
good
side
people.
was good, but my cousins, I don't know about them.
I
don't
told
speak
you
for
it's
them.
always the cousin.
It's always
Always the
cousins.
cousin. I know.
Hey, L'chaim, Centani
L'chaim.
was saying Italian, and what's the Muslim cheers?
they don't
Bismillah.
drink.
No, just kidding.
What'd you just say?
we
after
don't
you?
drink, but I would say Mazel Tov, honey.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Guys, thank you for being here. It's amazing. Cheers.
Thank you for having us.
You don't have to chug it, but here's some olive oil. Wow. So, oh man, that was nice. Smooth.
That went down way
interesting.
smoother than I. Oh, now it's
Yeah.
kicking in.
I don't know if I do it as a shot again.
You shot all that?
I didn't. Not the whole thing. No. We didn't share. You killed Zain.
And this is how you killed the Muslim on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's not bad. I
need
need
water?
a squeeze of lemon in here.
That's just how lemon and a little salt.
Yes.
Guys,
a
that's
little
my-
baguette, a little
You
pasta.
don't realize how much you're touching
Little
my
pizza?
heart and soul right now. It's my favorite food. I have olive oil on Chinese food. That's how much I love it. I have it on every food.
Oh.
Every food I eat, I put it on.
I love that you do that.
I love it. It's like it's a stereotype of Italians, but it's truly the best. So thank you for drinking that. It was nice. It felt good, right?
Felt warm in my soul.
Oh, I think we needed that. Yeah. I can hang out with you guys all day. I feel like, I'm grateful that we can have discussions like this. Like, and I to be honest, I have an insecurity about touching these subjects because I'm not an expert. So I'm so intrigued by all this because to me, I don't know it well, right? And I don't think we're all claiming to be experts, but I love the idea of coming together through comedy. And I'm grateful you guys exist and do what you do because it truly is special for culture. Like, keep doing what you're doing. It's powerful and it matters. And we all should be able to laugh. And I'm thankful that you guys are making that happen for people. And us here. Are you having fun? You have fun today?
I'm a blast. This is great.
It's always fun with you guys. And can I just say that this just shows that olives are olives, comedians are comedians, people are people.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. I was going to end by saying I'm better than you. So I'm glad that you spoke first. Oh my gosh. Awkward.
I was going to, yeah.
Yeah, I knew you two would do that. You know what? That's it. I'm out of here.
Oh my God, she's leaving. Hey, wait. Are you open to multiple wives in your marriage or no?
No.
But religiously, you could do it.
Religiously, yes, but the first wife or the wives have to agree, and then you have to treat them all the same. Just FYI. So if you buy this
Impossible.
house,
It's an impossible task.
yeah, if you buy this wife $1 million house, the other wife has to have at least $1 million house.
In writing,
Just ethically, religiously, that's what it is. That's what's there.
one's enough.
Yeah, and then if you get this one a Mercedes, this one has to have a Mercedes. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
That's
treat
why
them fairly.
condos and Kias.
I don't know how I think one relationship for an adult is enough.
It's
I don't
more
know
than
how you
enough.
manage more. Like, Mormons do the multiple wives too. I feel like it's a headache more than anything.
I cannot imagine 2 Jewish wives. That sounds terrible.
Your
Like,
wife
I love
is
my
the
one
sweetest.
Jewish wife.
Your
but
wife is the
2?
sweetest. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I can
handful.
imagine. I can't imagine 2 of me either. That would be hell. I feel bad for my man. No.
Yeah. There's enough.
Yeah,
It's enough.
100%. Plus, I don't like sharing.
Yeah. Territorial.
Yeah, with my husband.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been married for?
This summer will be 8 years for me.
Nice.
Oh, nice. What about yourself?
6? 6 years.
I'm going on 17, 18.
Whoa.
Wow.
What is it? What keeps you together?
Respect.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah. Respecting, because here's one thing. Every couple years, you change.
Yes.
And your partner changes. And being able, it's like being with a whole different person in many ways. So being able to be like, okay, I still want to be with this person too. And that's been a little bit hard. Now my husband has changed a lot, and I changed a lot too. But constantly respecting each other's boundaries and each other's beliefs, which is very important. Yeah.
I love that. It's so true. Everybody changes. It's hard though when one doesn't want to or one doesn't want to respect it. They don't want to respect the
That's
change.
really hard. So
Yeah.
I have a friend who married a guy, and then he used to keep halal, and now he does it. And she's like, I just want to divorce him because it's really hard. And I'm like, well, is he telling you have to keep
Yeah.
non-halal? And she's like, no. I was like, well, why can't you just respect? I mean, is that the only thing? She's like, yeah, that's the only thing. I'm like, oh, I got news for you. You're going to find another issue with someone else. You're going to marry them, and they're going to change their mindset on something too. People
Yeah.
grow.
People grow and you should grow with them, but like the person you fell in love with is always there. But I like what you're saying, like that we should be able to change
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that person is always there.
Also,
That's
you
really-
want your partner to grow. You want to grow in life as a person. You want to be stuck in the same type of thing forever, right? You should be always seeking and growing, I think.
For sure.
I don't know the difference between halal and kosher. Aren't they pretty similar?
Kosher's a lot harder.
Kosher's stricter.
Yeah.
Because of how it's made, right? Basically, what's in it.
Because you also, what happens is you need the rabbi to be the one to actually do the slaughtering and actually make the blessing.
Whoa.
Versus I think with halal, it's more about the blessing than the actual person.
Yes, it's a blessing, and that it's pointed towards Mecca.
Right.
And we have other, of course, rules and stuff that are the same.
Yeah.
as you
So a lot
guys.
of our a lot of our like meat rules are similar. It's just kind of like how it's done that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jews. But we get to drink alcohol, so even though it's hard for us, at least we get to be
You
like,
get- you get the
it's
alcohol.
hard. Okay.
Drink it out.
But
drink it
you
away.
can't mix something. You can't mix dairy with meat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
mixed meat and milk. You
You've
guys
never had
can?
it.
we can.
Oh.
That's what I'm telling you.
I
Yours
didn't
is
realize
harder.
that. But you guys can't do pork. Pork
No,
you also
no,
can't
we
do.
all can't do pork. Nobody can do pork. Yeah,
The Italians do pork. The Italians,
Italians
do
do
pork.
pork.
They do enough
For
pork for all of us.
yourselves. Yeah, a lot of prosciutto in my life, but I hear you.
I really think that. Okay, this is my theory. I don't know about you, Menachem. I think that God doesn't want us to eat pork because the pigs are so smart.
They are smart.
They're very smart animals, and he loves them so much that he's like, just please, just this one animal.
Yeah.
Keep me this one animal.
I think I respect your belief, but I also if I smell bacon, it's a sense memory. I have to eat it. It's crazy.
Just
We
every
both
time
never
you're
had-
eating it, you're eating God's favorite animal.
That's gonna be harder for me the next time for like about a second. Are you guys both never eaten pork in your life?
No.
I've never had
Wow.
pork.
So you don't even know.
I don't even know what I'm missing.
Yeah,
It smells good though.
Same with cheeseburgers for you.
So I've had like a fake cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah,
like the
okay.
imitation cheese on a real patty
Yeah, yeah.
or real patty fake cheese, like that kind of thing.
I want to have you both over my house. This is going to come from this episode. I'm going to invite you over my house. I'm going to make you pizza based on halal and kosher. We're going to do halal kosher pizza together.
Fun.
That's the next. We did
Ooh,
olive
nice.
oil first, and we're going to do halal kosher pizza.
It's pretty much a vegetarian pizza. That's all you're gonna make.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just
Which
gonna be
I'm
dough.
down.
You're feeding us
Yeah.
bread. You're gonna
Yeah.
feed us bread.
Oh no, I'm not inviting the Italians. Just you guys.
Just us.
So we could.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the
That'll be
Italians will
good.
eat this. They're like, what is this?
Hey, what?
Did you even
No, it's
sweat
fine.
and take the olive oil with the sweat?
It's
It doesn't even taste like
fine.
sweat.
It's fine. Just eat it. It's normal.
You know, I lived in Houston, and I was pregnant, very pregnant with my son, and the power went off, and it was one of those very hot summers in Houston. And my best friend was Orthodox Jewish. Her and her husband, they were much older. They were probably in their 50s, 60s. And they told us to go stay with them. And they kept very kosher. So I remember one day when Wendy, that's her name, Wendy and Steve, God bless them, I love them so much. When Wendy was busy, I was like, I'm going to help cook. And so I kept everything kosher. And I remember Steve had eaten something with dairy. And then he wanted to eat. I was like, Steve, you have to wait a couple hours before you can touch the other thing. And then he started laughing. He's like, look at Zain telling me how to keep kosher. I was like, don't touch that. I didn't mix it with this. And I put this in the separate oven. And I put this in the... So, yeah. And then some
So
Muslims,
Zane's
by the way...
in charge of the pizzas. Zane
Nice.
clearly
You're
knows
gonna-
what she's
I
doing.
know what I'm
The
doing.
rules.
I feel like you're gonna get the wrong pizza.
Yeah.
You're gonna order the wrong
100%,
pizza again.
100%.
You're
With
gonna be
the
like,
wrong-
no, it's beef prosciutto.
It's kosher cheese. I swear.
That's right. He's going to be eating in front of us. We're just
Exactly.
going to be looking at him like this. Now that's a good episode.
That's funny. Is there guilt associated with like if you made a mistake? Do you feel guilty about like? Is there a guilt that comes with the seriousness of keeping those diets? That like have you messed up before?
Well, the good thing about being the spawn of Satan and not having a soul as a Jew, we don't feel guilt. No, Jews feel everything. We feel guilty for everything. I would
Yeah.
feel guilty for not feeling guilty enough for breaking the rule.
Yeah.
Just layers.
You guys
7
feel the
layers
guilt
of hell,
for everybody.
7 layers of
That's
guilt.
so
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel guilty at all. I've never done it, but I don't think I'd feel guilty. I'd be like, oops.
It would just be
I'd
chalk
be like,
it up.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's so
Shit
foreign
happens.
to you and your body. You wouldn't even. You'd be messed up. I think.
Okay, I will tell you. I will say you can put the story on. One time, I suffer from severe migraines. So someone gave me chocolate, weed, marijuana, whatever. And so I woke up with a severe headache. So I took one to relieve my headache, went back to sleep, woke up 15 minutes later, and I've never done any edibles or anything. I've never smoked weed. It's not my thing. And so I woke up and I was like, oh, my head's still there. So I went and I ate the other two. I went back to sleep and I woke up shaking.
Oh, yeah.
Like this. And I remembered one time my brother accidentally ate pork grinds as chips because he thought they were just regular chips. You know, those are
Yeah.
tricky, right, for us? Those are really tricky.
like an onion ring.
Yeah. So he was eating them and my grandpa felt so bad for him. He gave him a glass of milk and said, hey, he felt guilty. Drink the glass of milk and you'll be fine. You'll go to heaven. It was kind of like this thing. Am I going to hell? Am I going to hell now? So after I did it, I freaked out because I was shaking. I opened the fridge and I was chugging down that milk like I'm going to heaven. I am not. Why the fuck did I do this? So yeah, I guess I feel guilt too.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
True
specifically
story.
the dietary thing, but that's funny. Have you ever done like edibles since then?
No, I don't touch the stuff. That was my first time and last
First and
time.
only, yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
Maybe we should get
Should we do
into-
kosher edibles? We'll do kosher edibles before we have the pizza.
Are there
Oh.
kosher edibles?
Yeah, there's a company called Hamsa. It's like
You
kosher
guys,
edibles.
you guys have it on lock with kosher. You can do
got
anything
it.
kosher.
Yeah.
I sound like that's smart. Wow.
As long as you say l'chaim, you're good.
That's it. You're set.
We don't need to drink milk after the pork rinds. Just say l'chaim, and it's like that'll be like, yeah,
We're good.
It's just 1 year
You're
of hell.
only
It's just
going to 1 year of hell
Yeah.
anyways. Who cares? I want to feel. You know what? Now that I think about, why are you guys always feeling so guilty?
You got 1 year.
1 year.
You got 1 year. I agree with that.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry not to gang up
we
on the
got
Jewish guy.
7 fucking hells we can go to.
But we just appreciate time, and it's like I could spend a year in heaven. I'm gonna waste a year in hell. And
Ugh.
everyone's gonna buy up all the heaven.
It's not
real
even a
estate.
bad hell. You're just
Who's gonna
getting
run the
clean.
banks in heaven? The weather is gonna be all fritzy if we're not there.
But you said there's no fire. What is it? They're just cleaning you. So you're just going to be in some classes. Like you're going to take
Or
classes
people
like
just,
9
they're
to
just talking
5.
to you.
Huh?
It's just a
It's
Jewish
therapy?
person who just doesn't stop
That's
talking.
it.
to you.
Therapy. Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah.
going to temple every what day do you guys go? Saturday. Saturday. It's
Sabbath.
like going to temple every Saturday before your whole year.
Do you not do technology and do the sundown thing for Sabbath as well?
100%. Yeah,
That's
so from-
cool.
So tonight, sundown till Saturday night, sundown. No technology.
No technology. Yeah.
I've
That's
been
awesome.
watching TikToks how some Jewish people get around that.
Really?
Isn't it not allowed?
Not really.
No. Okay. So like some people, you're not allowed to put the light on, right?
Right.
But then they have like certain things where they can like clap or do something. Is that not allowed?
It's great. Well, I'll tell you what's the funniest thing is like
gray area.
you could technically, so let's say on Shabbat, I can't turn the light on, but I could technically have somebody who's not Jewish turn the light on because
We're doing it.
Exactly, and it's like you can do it. You don't have like the mitzvah, like you don't have the thing that you need to like
Yeah.
not turn it on. But the problem is like I can't have you do it for me. I could have you do it for yourself.
Oh.
So I can't be like, can you turn it on for me? I have to get you to turn it on yourself. So I'd have to like bring you into my house and be like, it's dark in here. What would you like to do to make it not as dark?
Yeah.
How would you like to fix this?
Yeah.
And then if somebody doesn't know, it just looks like the weirdest sales pitch. It's like, are you trying to sell me light bulbs? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Gosh, see the rules of
love
all
that.
that.
I'm telling you, they
would be
have a
tough
lot
for
more
me.
rules than we do.
That'd be
It's
that'd be
really,
tough.
it's much harder.
Well, that's what I was asking about. Like, if you ever feel guilty about messing up, because like I did a segment with an Amish community once, and we went to the liquor store and we were talking with them and joking about not boozing, and then like the Amish people left, and the liquor store guy was like, "These guys come in here every weekend. They pack their carriages and they like pretend like they don't." So I was wondering, tying back to like our danger chat, if you guys are maybe bad in a way too in that sense. But it sounds like you're both pretty good.
Oh, I'm pretty good.
I'm pretty good.
That's ingrained though.
I
It sounds
know.
like
Again, well, the guilt helps. I think that
it's
like,
guilt.
Jewish guilt.
If you turn the light on the Sabbath this Saturday, like what's the response to that? Like what is
So you just, I'm saying you leave it on, but you just feel guilty. It's like, oh, I'm saying like it's this. Anything that's done by mistake, you're not responsible.
But if you went out of your way and went against it, what would you feel like?
I wouldn't do that.
You'd feel you'd feel dirty.
I just like, yeah, I feel so dirty.
Yeah, I feel like
So
Menachem
dirty.
would never
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Now Zain could be like, "It's dark in here, Menachem."
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, call Zain or I. We're gonna get
Yeah.
the light hook up on the
On
Sabbath.
Saturday, I'm like,
Hey.
"Oh, Menachem's calling me. I gotta go."
But what's nice is like all the rules of Shabbat, like, you know, different rules of like not carrying things and technology, etc. It all goes out the window when it comes to like life. Like
Sure,
one thing that's cool
survival.
is like, but survival for a person. But even it says like, if you see an animal giving birth, you're allowed to break all the rules of Shabbat to help
Nice.
the animal give
Yeah.
birth. So like,
Cool.
anytime it comes to like life, threat, danger, then all of those things go out the window.
That's
but as
good.
long as everything's like safe, it's like, you know, take a day away.
Yeah.
Don't do the technology. Relax. Take a break.
It's also funny talking about it from my point of view, not growing up with that, because like it's great if you zoom out of any religion. How great is it to have no phone and
So
no.
nice.
We don't know what lights. We all, as humans, lived that way before technology.
Yeah.
So, like, you're in touch with, like, I feel that way. And I don't mean to make it all about a time, but it's only what I know. When I cook with wood, I feel connected to people from thousands of years ago who were cooking, pita, whatever it was, with wood fires. Like, there's something about going back to living that way, even for a day, that I think, like, we all could use. But it's like you have to. I kind of wish I could force myself in a way to live that way.
You'll have to come for Shabbat.
I'll come for Shabbat.
Nice.
No
Be
lights.
fun.
No
so
cameras.
We have lights. We just leave them on before Shabbat. So
Okay,
no turn
cool.
them on and off. Yeah,
Should
yeah,
you
yeah.
sleep with the lights on Saturday night?
No. So let's say like our bedrooms, we just leave the lights off,
Oh, got it.
and then like dining room, we leave it on. But
Oh,
we just
got
don't
it.
mess with it.
I've done Shabbat. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Let's
I've
have
never
you
done
both
it.
for Shabbat.
I would
You've
love
never done it.
Never done it.
I know.
You've
we've been
never
talking
done
about
it?
It's
No,
so nice.
I mean I grew
Very
up with a lot of
beautiful.
Jewish people in Jersey, but I went to Catholic school. We just never did it. I did
They
a lot
didn't
of
do
bar
Shabbat in
mitzvahs.
Catholic school. That's weird.
No, I just did bar mitzvahs growing up as a DJ. That's where my connection
Nice.
to a lot of bar mitzvahs.
I've never
DJ.
been. Can I go to a bar mitzvah?
100%.
Right?
So
So
fun.
my son's bar mitzvah will be in 6 years.
All right, you got the entertainment right here. Entertainment.
She'll do stand up by the
I'll
bar
do
mitzvah.
stand up.
Dirty
Yeah.
stand up
And
at the
you'll
bar
DJ.
mitzvah.
We'll
and
do
I'll DJ. I'm in.
That
I'm in.
sounds perfect to me.
I love it. Well,
I'll
listen,
make
guys.
sure everything's kosher.
Kosher, yeah, including the jokes.
No, sorry.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
only
yeah.
thing I can't.
Kosher food, dirty jokes.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it. Thank you guys for being here. I seriously could talk to you all day. I'm so grateful again that I'm doing another outro. It's my second outro because I just want to stay with you all day. But
Same.
I'm appreciative. It's cool that like for someone who's just met you both recently, you're beautiful souls, and I love what you're doing. And I'm appreciative for this time and space to just have conversations like this and have fun. I've had a blast with you guys. Seriously, thank you for coming here, guys. Thank you for listening and
Thank you for
watching
having
this.
us.
Come back anytime. We're here every week, right here where you're watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. And what do we say to end this episode? What's the maybe an olive oil cheers again?
Yes.
I love that idea.
A little olive oil to end. Cheers. L'chaim.
L'chaim, Mazel Tov.
Mazel.
Astaghfirullah.
Stafala.